No jail for the owners of Upahar Cinema. The Supreme Court fines the Ansal brothers 60 crore rupees. 59 people were killed when a fire broke out in their cinema hall in Delhi in 1997. In fact, Neelam Krishnamurthy, the lady who lost both her children in this tragedy, says she's lost faith in the judiciary. Her reaction in just a bit. Before that, let's get you the other headlines we're tracking. Let's take you straight across, in fact, to Neelam Krishnamurthy.
और हम विक्टिम्स को बिल्कुल समय नहीं दिया गया बहस करने के लिए, सिर्फ उनके पैसे के बल पे उनको आज छोड़ा गया है और ये किसी भी तरह का न्याय नहीं है। सीबीआई की तरफ से क्या आर्गुमेंट हुआ था? सीबीआई की तरफ से ये आर्गुमेंट था कि रिच कैन सेंड द रॉन्ग मैसेज टू द सोसाइटी, इसलिए सजा होनी बहुत जरूरी है। लेकिन बड़े अफसोस की बात है, जजेस ने इस चीज का बिल्कुल भी तवज्जो नहीं दिया इस आर्गुमेंट को, ना हमारे वकील साहब की तो आर्गुमेंट को उन्होंने माइंड में लिया। मैं सिर्फ इतना जानती हूँ कि अगर 18 साल हम एरिया रगड़े कोर्ट में आए न्याय की उम्मीद में और दोनों कोर्ट ने कन्विक्ट किया है, सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने भी कन्विक्ट किया है, तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने 17 महीने के बाद आज मैटर लगाया है। इसके लिए हमने सुप्रीम कोर्ट के कितने चक्कर लगाए हैं, सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कितनी बार फाइलें हमारी मूव नहीं हुई, सिर्फ मैटर लगा और उसको दबा दिया गया। मैं ये जानना चाहती हूँ किस लिए, सिर्फ इसलिए कि इनको अंडरकॉन करके छोड़ना था? क्या जजेस को इस चीज का महसूस नहीं होता है कि एक माँ कितना तड़प रही है अपने बच्चों की न्याय पाने के लिए?
आपको क्या फैसला है सुप्रीम कोर्ट का, जो आपको डिटेल में हम जानना चाहेंगे?
मैंने बिल्कुल फैसला नहीं सुना, सिर्फ मैंने जजेस से ये सुना कि 60 करोड़ देने की बात, वही सुन के मुझे गुस्सा आ गया और मैं कोर्ट से उठा के अपने कागज पटक के आ गई हूँ। मुझे नहीं पता जजेस ने क्या कहा है, वो क्या कहेंगे। आई एम नॉट इंटरेस्टेड। दिस जजमेंट हैज नो मीनिंग फॉर मी, इट कैन गो टू हेल। मैंने बहुत न्यायपालिका का सम्मान किया 18 साल। आज मैं कहती हूँ मुझे न्यायपालिका में बिल्कुल विश्वास नहीं है। आज उन्होंने हमें प्रूव कर दिया है। लोग कहते थे कि इस कोर्ट में सिर्फ पैसे वालों के साथ न्याय मिलता है और वो बात आज सच साबित हो गई है।
क्या आप रिव्यू में जाएंगे?
अब ये बात की बात है क्योंकि आज आई एम सो डिस्टर्ब्ड, आई डोंट even look at the court. I'm so disgusted with the Supreme Court.
Thank you, ma'am.
She's Neelam Krishnamurthy, the lady who lost both her children in the Upahar cinema fire in Delhi in 1997. CNNIBN's legal editor Ashok Bagaria is with us for more on this news that we are tracking. Ashok, why did the court allow the Ansal brothers to get away? What was its final verdict?
Well, Ananya, we are yet to get a copy of the verdict. In fact, the Supreme Court, while concluding here in the Upahar fire tragedy case, said that they were just imposing a fine of 60 crores on the Ansal brothers. The money has to be paid to the Delhi government within 3 months' time, and how the money is to be spent will be decided by the Delhi government. As far as the quantum of punishment is concerned, the Supreme Court has said that the punishment which Gopal and Sunil Ansal have already spent behind bars will be treated as undergone, and there will be no fresh jail term for them. Now, we just heard a very emotional rather response from Neelam Krishnamurthy. She's the woman who's been on the forefront and has been fighting this battle for the last 18 years, and today the Supreme Court has come to a conclusion that there should be no jail term for the Ansal brothers. Now a detailed order as to the reasonings why the Supreme Court has come to such a conclusion will be delivered by the court only tomorrow. The court today, while delivering the order, said that a detailed reasoned order will only follow tomorrow. However, the victims are definitely not satisfied with this verdict. They believe that the Supreme Court has lost a chance to send out a strong signal to people and institutions who have been causing death due to negligence. In this particular instance, 59 people had lost their lives in 1997, and 18 years after the Supreme Court has come to a conclusion that no jail term is to be given to these two proprietors of Upahar cinemas, where a fire had broken out, taking the lives of 59 people.
Ashok, is there any legal road left for the Upahar victims?
Well, there is one more opportunity which is available, that a review petition is filed, wherein a petition is filed at the Supreme Court asking the judges to relook at the verdict, as well as to impress on the judges once again that despite upholding the convictions which were given by the trial court, the High Court, and subsequently even by the Supreme Court, why should a jail term not be given to the Ansal brothers? In fact, the trial court had in the first instance given 2 years or given them a punishment of 2 years to Ansal brothers. Subsequently, when the matter was heard in the Delhi High Court, the quantum of punishment was reduced to 1 year. And now in the Supreme Court, we see that the quantum of punishment has completely been done away with. The Supreme Court has come to a conclusion that Sunil and Gopal Ansal have spent 4 months and 5 months behind bars, and this is sufficient enough for the crime they have committed.
Ashoka, were there any other people who were found guilty in this case?
Well, besides Gopal and Sushil Ansal, there were 7 more individuals who were found guilty of causing death due to negligence. But in this particular set of appeals, it was only the Ansal brothers who had come to the Supreme Court challenging the quantum of punishment that was given to them by the Delhi High Court. This matter was originally heard 17 months back by a division bench of the Supreme Court, where 2 judges concurred that the conviction should be upheld, but there was a disagreement between the judges on the quantum of punishment which should be given to them. However, the matter was referred to a bench of 3 judges, and today the 3 judges after 17 months have come to a conclusion that definitely the conviction is upheld, but on the quantum of punishment which is to be given to them, they have said that only fine is to be imposed on them, and there will be no fresh jail term for the Ansal brothers.
Of course, we were seeing quite an emotional reaction from Neelam Krishnamurthy, who lost both her children in the Upahar cinema fire, Ashok, and she's the one, in fact, who's been the face of the tragedy, the face who's represented all other victims' families as well.
Well, in fact, yes, Neelam Krishnamurthy has been the face of this fight against the system, and in fact it has been 18 years she has led from the front. She has, at least I have seen her moving in the corridors of Supreme Court for the last 10 years. She has been coming to the Supreme Court, seeking Supreme Court's intervention. At every opportunity, she felt that the prosecution was not pursuing its case properly in the trial court or in the Delhi High Court. But today, when there was an opportunity before the Supreme Court to deliver and finally adjudicate on the matter, the Supreme Court seems to have come to a conclusion depending on its reasoning, which we don't know yet, because a detailed reasoned order will only be passed tomorrow. The Supreme Court believes that a fine of 60 crore is sufficient, as well as the jail term which the Ansal brothers have already spent behind bars is sufficient enough punishment for these 2 individuals.
So the Ansal brothers, Ashok, have been convicted, but the Supreme Court thinks the punishment of 60 crore rupee fine is enough. What were the charges against them that were proved, and on what grounds were they finally convicted?
Well, they have been convicted under Section 304A of the Indian Penal Code, which deals with the provision of causing death due to negligence. Now, under this section of the Indian Penal Code, the maximum punishment is 2 years in jail as well as fine. Now, in this particular instance, the Supreme Court has upheld the conviction, saying yes, they are guilty of causing death due to negligence. There's no doubt about it. But at the same time, they have said that as far as giving a jail term is concerned, they will not give a fresh jail term, because they believe, the Supreme Court believes, that Sushil and Gopal Ansal have spent 4 and 5 months already behind bars, and that is sufficient punishment for them. But at the same time, they have said that they are imposing a fine of 30 crores each, which adds up to 60 crores against the Ansal brothers. This money has to be deposited within 3 months' time with the Delhi government.
Ashoka, you were mentioning Neelam Krishnamurthy. We heard her emotional reaction a few minutes ago. You said that you've seen her often in the Supreme Court corridors. She's been fighting for 18 years for justice. She lost both her children in this tragedy.
Yes, in fact, Neelam Krishnamurthy initially started off with the fight by being at the forefront of the fight individually, but subsequently there was an an association of the victims who were affected by this Upahar fire tragedy was formed, and this particular, at every instance, this association intervened in all the litigation that happened at the trial court level, the high court level, and even at the Supreme Court level.
Right. Ashok, thanks very much for that. For the moment, on our focus on the FTII row, it's open.